Hello folks, and welcome back for another episode whereby I'm aiming to give some decent selections for tomorrow, which will be Friday. It's currently 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. I don't have prices for a lot of these selections, so fingers crossed there'll be something worth backing. As you can see there on the right hand side, there's a few horses that I've gone through in regards to, if you can just, that way. Even you can just have a look in this scroll bar. It's going to be going through basically my PlacePot selections for Lingfield, Newcastle and Dundalk tomorrow. There's a few, especially at Newcastle, that are bigger prices. Same with Dundalk. I've tried to avoid going for the generic horses that are perhaps the first or second in the betting. Sometimes the races have forced my hand, but make sure you make a note of those. Perhaps we'll pick up a PlacePot or two. But anyway, cracking on to things. If you're looking for a horse that is, I wouldn't say nailed on, but you're looking for a horse that's potentially a shorter price, perhaps a win bet, I've got to go to the 215 at Chepstow. Port of Mars, only raced twice, was beaten 13 lengths, which kind of makes you gulp a little bit, but was beaten 13 lengths into second, but by a stablemate. The trainer Ollie Murphy's on absolute fire at the moment, firing in winners left, right and centre. The champ, Dickie Johnson, jumps on board. That maiden hurdle that he finished second, the form of that is potentially quite good. It beats the third place horse by 13 lengths. And yeah, it's a smaller field. It is still a relatively competitive race. You've got obviously the Twiston Davies horse in there. But I think Port of Mars is perhaps the horse with the most potential, has seen the least amount of mileage as well. So yeah, Port of Mars, 215 Chepstow, if you're looking for perhaps a shorter win bet. A bigger price and probably my bet of the day, it comes in the 6:30 at Dundalk. It's Little Camacho. The 5-year-old's last 4 runs have been pretty appalling, but don't let that put you off too much. But they've been bad enough to see the horses sort of mark drop to something that's very, very attractive. So think of that what you will. The Anthony McCann horse, it's dropped to the attractive mark. It also steps up to a mile again. He's been racing over 7 furlongs. I think that's going to be a big plus. And it's very, very interesting to see Wayne Lorden jump aboard the horse. He's never ridden the horse before. But the fact that such a top jockey is booked for the ride also sort of makes you prick your ears. It likes to be tucked in just behind the leader. So coming out of stall 1 is like an absolutely huge plus. Although the race looks sort of competitive, it doesn't look to have the strength in depth. And at the age of 5, he probably has fresher legs than most of the sort of more seasoned handicappers. I expect a big run. But I'm kind of dreading what the opening price is going to be. So whether or not enough people are thinking on the same wavelengths. Hopefully the bookies will price it up wrong, and we'll be able to grab an absolute abundance of value. Another horse, a couple of horses worth mentioning, and now these aren't tips, I've just got to clarify that. In the last race, I think it's the 8:30 at Dundalk, there's 2 horses that you need to keep an eye out for. Not necessarily to back, but the 2 that are likely to go close, not necessarily tomorrow evening, but very soon, in the form of Highly Approved and Annabelle Rock. Highly Approved is ultra consistent, and it's finished in the top 3 on more than 50% of its all-weather starts. Wayne Lorden's on top. Obviously, we've touched upon him already. But again, that's a big plus. So it tends to be a positive. But for a horse that likes to be up near the front, being drawn in stall 15, makes things ridiculously tough, and I think that's the big negative. If he doesn't win tomorrow evening, then I'd definitely encourage you to pop him in your trackers and expect him to go close very soon, especially if he gets a better draw. Stablemate Annabelle Rock, they're both from the same stable, by the way. Annabelle Rock is a horse I've been waiting to drop down to 5 furlongs. It's racing over 6 tomorrow. It isn't too bad. I'd prefer 5, but Again, drawn in stall 12 is a bit of a nightmare. Again, likes to be up relatively near the pace. So I think stall 12 alone is enough to put pace to its chances. The reason I'm telling you these two is I know that potentially I may forget whenever I see them come out again. But Annabelle Rock and the other horse by the name of, I can't remember it now, highly approved. Stick them in your trackers, even if they show absolutely nothing tomorrow evening, because I expect them to go close very soon. So, you've seen my selections for tomorrow. I'm going to grab 5, stick them in an each way lucky 31, which you'll be able to see pop up on the screen now. I'll just do that. So yeah, the each way lucky 31 for tomorrow. 240 Linfield Full Spectrum, 315 Newcastle Strict, 345 Newcastle Majestic Stone, 415 Newcastle Merry Court, and my bet of the day, 630 Dundalk Little Camacho. Again, these are an each way lucky 31. Those are my 5. Obviously, we've got Port of Mars in the 215 at Chepstow if you're looking for a win bet. Good luck for following. Fingers crossed we'll get something today, Thursday, and something for tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll grab some winners tomorrow.